An NFC South battle right off the bat. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Saints were this close to an NFC Championship appearance a year ago. How will they respond this year as they get an early test at home against the visiting Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I'll be back at halftime with a look around the early games. Let's get you over to New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both...
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. We get a good peek at a man in his 13th year at the controls of the Saints. In his 18th season overall, it's Drew Brees.
And to say that he knows every bit of the New Orleans offensive playbook, terminology, nuances, and creates a few of his own would actually be an understatement for Drew Brees. He makes everything go with that offense and makes everyone around him better. Every time he takes a snap, there's a potential for a big play and a touchdown.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
Ready? We're waiting.
Brees now. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll have the former Oklahoma Sooner calling the shots. At quarterback will be Sam Bradford.
2 seasons ago, while at the helm in Minnesota, he set an NFL completion record for a season at 71%. Throwing the football, accuracy, always a strength of his. The tough part for him, injuries throughout his career. When he's been rolling, the injuries have cropped up and cut many of his seasons short.
Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
I'm putting a spotlight on Jalen Ramsey, who was an all-pro for the first time in 2017 at cornerback. But I remember him coming out of Florida State, and people couldn't decide, was he a safety? Was he a corner? Did he use him at both spots? His ability to diagnose plays His ability to control receivers at the line of scrimmage at his size and then run with them downfield, I think he's going to be a fixture in the Pro Bowl for years to come.
And he will find his man. It's Kenny Brent. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now Stewart on first down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Breeze now to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Mark Ingram really coming into form in the NFL. First 5 years in the league, didn't have a 1,000-yard season, but he's done it the past 2 years.
Yeah, and I think a couple of reasons for that. Number one, offensive line has been rebuilt, and they put a lot of resources into that, and they've gotten better. Number two, he's had great running mates back there. Tim Hightower 2 seasons ago, then last year, of course, the sensational Alvin Kamara. And last but not least, the defense is playing so much better in New Orleans, they don't have to throw the ball as much on offense. He can run the ball even more.
They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Now Foreman. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The handoff comes to Stewart, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw, Bradford. He hits Stewart in the flat, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they'll have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Mixon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They go back to Stewart on first. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Stewart. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now a 10th carry for Jonathan Stewart. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They'll try to throw now. Bradford. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And the pressure gets to Bradford, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett in there to drop it for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. It led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Breeze to Ingram on the draw. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
This is caught by Jackson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Jackson's got it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn into big plays.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
4 down. Ready. Yellow lady, yellow.
They go play action for Ingram. Now Breeze. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Give him 30 yards there.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he can break big plays like that. And we've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders. And Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one. Brandon, I believe that they were in 4-down territory, and that's what they were thinking. But after the loss, I've got to kick the field goal. No way I'm going to go for it in this situation. But you know some of these coaches, they're extremely unpredictable, and they may go ahead and press it.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
No problem. That's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember having you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say, where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Here's Bradford, and that'll be incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
A dump off here to Stewart, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
You waiting?
From the gun, it's Breeze. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested 1st half. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1. So do not press that skip button. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down.
Ready? You waiting?
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Deshaun Jackson from 10 yards out. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now Bradford on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a third down. Bradford now. Got a man. That's Allison.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our players' spotlight. And they must have seen something leading up to this one.
Ready. We're waiting.
Brees now on first down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready. We're waiting.
Throwing on first down is Brees. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Brees to throw on 3rd and 1. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
You waiting?
The final shot before half for Brees. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. So we've reached halftime here on... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 34. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Ingram again. And he's got room. Ingram's got the first down and more. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. Landry brushes him up. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry, 33 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
23 yards on the play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now a handoff. This is Stewart. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This is Stewart again. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Bradford from the gun on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now.
Ready. Yellow lady. Ready, what's that?
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here in third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. First down, Bradford. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They run here with Stewart, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
That one goes for 24 yards. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
And how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion. Beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
To throw, it's Brees. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Here's Brees to throw.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man and try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And he connects with Ertz. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Another run for Stewart. He's been busy. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter.
Let's go! 3-19!
Now it's the backup Simeon. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. Here's John Ryan now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally, and his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, they'll tell their guys, relax, you don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Jackson's got it over the middle. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Breeze. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Mike Hughes. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point good by Barth. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Now Ross to return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bathema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now Breeze on third down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Quan Alexander with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Simeon. They'll set up the screen for Stewart. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Throwing on third down, Simeon. Looking for Brett, intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. A good burst there, gets him 7 up to midfield.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
From midfield, here's Breeze.
Now we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. And this is caught by Jackson. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Breeze hands to Ingram. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Cliff Averill. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old...
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, 44 yards. And the Saints add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt. Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his rhythm is just off. He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, so they held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. When someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes a fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
Busting through contact, just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Well, early on, we talked about the key being keeping him under 100 yards. Forget that. He's over that mark now.
And that rushing total for him has correlated into a big win for his team.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Ready.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for New Orleans, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.